is everyone back fit? Have you got your full quota?
Well, we think so, but we're still waiting for Figueroa to come back, and of course the 2 Egyptian boys too. The games was on Tuesday, so they're halfway around the world, so they're actually arriving back in the country today, this evening. But we think that everybody's okay. Touch wood.
The Egyptian lads, they got thrashed.
They got beat 6, yeah. They got beat 6, so they've got a wounded pride, but physically wise, they're okay. I hope.
So the report seems okay. Would you expect to have pretty much everybody, including Robbie Brady, available this weekend?
Well, Robbie Brady's trained. It just shows you what the medical people can do. Just over 2 weeks, I think it is, 2 weeks and 2 days since he had the operation. But he trained today, and we'll see if there's any reaction, of course. It's still a little bit too quick for Corran and of Chester, but they're out in the grass as well. So that sounds like a bit of a horse, that, doesn't it? But they're out training as well, doing bits and pieces. So hopefully it's not going to be too long before they're back in the squad as well.
So do you think Robbie will be in the squad this weekend?
As long as he doesn't have any reaction from today, then yeah, he'll come straight back into the squad. Yeah.
Which is, you would only have missed him for 1 game. Then.
Well, it's as I said, it's quite remarkable now what the medical people can do to fix a. Well, it's labelled as a hernia. It's not quite a full-blown hernia, but in football terms, the label is a hernia. To be playing within 2.5 weeks just to show us today what they can really do. Fantastic.
The concern wouldn't be worth the risk if he wasn't quite there, would it?
Well, it's one of them injuries that you either can play with it, and it's right, and he's been in a pain for 3 weeks, so he's pain free. They're worse beforehand, so he's pain free. He's running around like a 2-year-old this morning. Let's hope he stays that way, and he's okay if there's no reaction.
It's a game where the 2 sides so closely matched in the table. To say that at this stage of the season that you're that close to Everton is a bit of
well, it's remarkable because Everton are a fantastic club with great tradition, great history, great stadium to go and play, even though I've not won many times there. Some really good players. They're a good team, well-run club, good chairman who is Everton through and through. They are a proper football club and have been for years. And under now Roberto has inherited a very, very good side, and with the addition of Lukaku on deadline day and McCarthy, they've added to their squad, which has been grown very, very well over the last couple of years. Dave Moyes has left a very, very good Everton side for Roberto, and of course new managers come in, different ideas, and they've got off to a great start. So it's going to be a hell of a difficult game, but one, like I always say, we'll look forward to it.
Lukaku's one of the big Premier League challenges at the moment, isn't he?
Well, he's a hell of a signing on deadline day to bring in somebody like him. He's just played for Belgium in midweek. He's going to be one hell of a player, isn't he? And I rate Everton, maybe why he's got there, that maybe Jose's thought, well, maybe they can go and get a few points off the big boys with him in that team, maybe. And it's pretty shrewd, really, because I think they can. They're a very, very good side. I've seen them play against Newcastle a few weeks ago, and they were excellent. So it'll be a tough game for us.
The way the season's gone, though, you won't go with any trepidation, I don't suppose.
Well, we're enjoying it at the moment. The big challenge for us is, and I've said repeatedly, we've had a good start. It seems to have been going for months, and we've only played 7 games. So we've got to maintain it. The winter's just about here, and let's hope we can maintain it over the winter period and over the months. That's got to be the aim. Let's hope we can. I'm quietly confident we can, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because it's stop-start the Premier League season, isn't it? You've got August friendly, September internationals, October, but now pretty much it's clear water.
Yeah, there's another one in November, so there's another break then. So there's another 4 games, I think, league games up until then, 4 or 5 league games up until then. So it gives you a little chance to draw a bit of breath, hope that the internationals come back, and it gives you a breather to say, well, is anything we can do, anything we can change? Thankfully, at the moment, we're okay. Let's hope that continues.
Just last one on the internationals for me. Roy Hodgson finds himself, it's a bit of a bizarre place he's at the moment, isn't it?
It does baffle me, why didn't the front page of the paper just write a fantastic story about the England team instead of writing something negative? the boys okay with it, set out of context or wherever it is. Everybody seems to be okay with the whole situation, apart from us as a nation who have dramatised it again. So I would rather not really comment, because it's not really worth commenting on.
Steve, are Everton kind of a blueprint for success, you know? That clubs have
Well, I mean, if we can aspire to be Everton, we would be terrific, because I think this year, outside the top 6, Everton are the ones that could seriously mount a challenge to them. I think they're a very, very good side. You know, they've got internationals from all over the place, and very quietly over the years they've gone about their job. And a big compliment to that is obviously Davy Moyes. The reason why he's got the Manchester job is because of how well he's done at Everton. And all round, it's a traditionally fantastic football club with, as I said, a chairman who thinks of one thing only, that's just how we can improve Everton. And you know, they maybe not had the finance that other clubs have had, but certainly in history and tradition and support, they're a fantastic football club.
How far are you down the line with Shawnee Lucas?
Well, I'm going after I finish here to go and have a word with my boss and see if there's any developments, and maybe I'll know a little bit in the next few days. We're trying our utmost to try and get it over the line. Let's hope this time next week you can ask me and everything's hunky-dory, but at the minute we're still boxing a bit.
Has Nick Proschwitz played himself into the reckoning a bit for the first team? Performances?
Well, Nick has had to wait for his chance, a bit like Sagbo, if you like, now this year. You know, we brought him in, and unfortunately, you know, he got sent off in his first game, and he's had to wait for his chance. And I think that's what the squad is all about. You know, they're all waiting and itching for their chance. Certainly, Nick might get it, and but you know, it's easy for a manager or a coach at the moment because everybody's doing so well. So you haven't really got to make many changes or look for a winning formula, if you like. So at the moment, you'll just have to be patient, like the vast majority of the squad, and wait for his chance.
Steve, can I just ask you, I've been hearing...
Oh, sorry, I do apologise. It is a fine, yeah. Jesus.
Is it important? Do you want to take it?
No, I don't. It's not important at all. It's the guy in the fair.
You didn't pay your fare?
Yeah, I'm 20 pence. Although I bet it's £2 now a ride, is it? I don't know how much it is. Yeah, you're not allowed goldfish anymore, are you? No, I don't think so you are. I don't think you are.
I've just been
Sorry.
to interview Alan McGregor earlier on. Now, clearly, you need a goalkeeper, and I'm not saying he's any better than anyone else, but has he brought quite a bit this season for you? I mean, it's a difficult position to try and fill.
Well, we needed a goalkeeper. I mean, if you look over the last few years for the club, we've certainly needed our own goalkeeper. We've been beg, stealing and borrowing, really. And I tried to get Alan McGregor last year when I was here, when I first came in, and you know, when Rangers were having the problems that they were having, and unfortunately for us, he chose Turkey to go and play in Turkey, and it's fair to say he didn't quite settle there. So I've always been a big admirer of him as a goalkeeper, and I have to say the biggest compliment I can give him, he's better than what I thought he was, and I paid a lot of money for him. So that's what we think of him. He's had a good start. He's a very, very, very good goalkeeper who is no surprise to me because he's played at the top level with Rangers and handled big crowds, big occasions, plays for Scotland, and certainly the Premier League, he's took to it very, very easily. Touch wood, and any team who's going to be successful need a very good goalkeeper, and I think we've got a really, really good one, so I'm very pleased with that.
Thanks very much.
Sorry, you said that Roy got caught up in a few disappointing headlines there. On a positive note, would you just like to talk about England qualifying and sort of if that's important?
Well, I think I'm like everybody. I'm like every other Englishman. They've been fantastic the last 2 games, and a big pat in the back must go to Roy. Big call to play Townsend for a start. Big call, and also went for it in terms of the attacking team that he's put out. So I think we should all be praising him as a coach and a manager when he needs it most. And we're delighted. We're all delighted that England are going to the World Cup, and we can look forward to the draw at Christmas time, and then look forward to June and get ready to go to Rio because it's some place. So fantastic that England have qualified.
Just one on that, Steve. Have you got anybody in your squad who might think about potential involvement in that?
Well, we certainly hope so. I mean, the one thing, there's always a surprise going to a World Cup. There's always somebody comes out of nowhere. I mean, look at, well, Townsend, there's the prime example to all young players, people who are aspiring to get in the squad. If you're playing well at that particular time, a couple of injuries, who knows? So I think that's the big carrot to all of them. I think Roy said it himself. He's not going to dismiss anybody just yet. So we hope that some of them can keep their form. It would be wonderful if we think that we can have somebody going to the World Cup. Let's hope so, why not?
Huddleston, Livermore, you've got Davis, there's some candidates.
Well, there's some candidates, and as I said to you, I think Townsend is the name that is shot to prominence in the last, well, only in the last couple of weeks. If you had told me a month ago that Anders Townsend would have started, I don't think that he's burst into the Tottenham team, and the kid's done fantastically well and has had a wonderful couple of games. So I think he's the one that they can all have a look at and hopefully follow.
Sorry, just about the Everton game, there's free travel for fans on offer.
Yeah.
Can you say anything about that? Is that a good idea? Do you think is it going to help people?
Well, I think I'm right in saying that it's led by Barclays, and I think it's only be a good thing. I mean, for the supporters to travel free, anything that we can all give back, whether it's the clubs or the big sponsors or the Premier League or Barclays themselves, then it can only be a good initiative. And it's good to see a way end full. I think we're taking a big crowd tomorrow, so I think if it saves them 20, 30 quid, then fantastic. They'll spend it on the beer and have hopefully a good time.